The president has asked Secretary Mayorkas to address what is going on at the border. I have been asked to lead the issue of dealing with root causes in the Northern Triangle. So I have talked with the president of Mexico, the president of Guatemala. We have, well, I'm probably saying too much, but we have plans in the work to go to Guatemala as soon as possible.
And House Republicans criticizing the vice president for not visiting the southern border by putting her face on a milk carton.
This is why Joe Biden took such a long time to pick a VP to begin with. He initially wanted Susan Rice because he trusted her, but then was told that he had to take Kamala Harris, even though he didn't know if she was loyal, because remember, he called him a racist at the debate. But he was convinced, and now she's starting to show signs of disloyalty. When a president of the United States taps the VP to take charge of something, that means it's an important job. That means it's very important, but it's also dirty, and the president doesn't want to get his hands dirty. So as a loyal VP, you have to just dive right in head first and do your job. And she didn't. She treated the border like a hot potato. She's like, no, it's not me. You do it. You do it. DHS, I don't want this. I'm only going to do diplomacy. So she's going to fly down to Guatemala and she's going to sit across from a corrupt politician and say, I'm going to send you a bunch of money. And they're going to smile and nod their head and say, yeah, I'll do something. And then they'll wink to their buddy and the money will end up in their bank account. And then the surge will probably die down in the summer when it's too hot to migrate, and she'll pat herself on the shoulder and said she fixed it. But it's just going to start right back up again and break another record in the winter.
Dana, one of the last presidents to think seriously about immigration reform and make an effort was your former boss, President Bush. I've listened, and I don't necessarily disagree totally with what's being said, but at the same time, do we not think about this differently than it's a great political point for either side? We invest billions in the Middle East to stabilize that region, yet we've invested very little in our own hemisphere. Is that something that the vice president should be thinking about and weighing as she tries to come up with an answer?
It's a very good question. I do want to just defend President Obama, who I think will be so offended to think he hadn't taken it seriously. I kid, Harold, I kid. I think that every president since George Washington has had some sort of immigration issue to deal with. And this one, I think, solving the problem at its source, I think, would be great. I definitely think that our southern hemisphere has been ignored for a long time. And actually, it was very interesting talking to General Peter Pace. You might remember him as he was the first Marine to be Joint Chiefs of Staff. I remember asking him where he was on 9/11. You know where he was? He had just landed in Colombia, because that was going to be a big focus, to get the drug cartels underway. But then what happened? 9/11. And we just had a segment about Afghanistan over 20 years. So yeah, I think there's a lot here. I do think with Kamala Harris, it's very interesting. Most vice presidents do anything to try to find some sort of substantive issue that they can hold on to so that they could actually be in the news. But this time it's like, whoa, like backing up. And she doesn't necessarily want to take it all on. I would love to see her take it all on. I think that would be actually probably be very good for her political career, and maybe even good for the country, because she could get the visibility that it needs. Secretary Mayorkas has been to the border, I think, 4 times, and nobody knows about it. The last thing I'd say is the Washington Post did this puff piece on her. It was this feature story about how she's crocheting and how amazing it is. Like, it makes me think that might have given us some better press.
Greg, I know you have a lot of thoughts on this.
I do. First off, Harold, stop asking good questions. It's bad enough that I'm no longer the best-looking person on the 5. Just stop trying to add substance to this debate. It's making me sick to my stomach. All right, this crocheting thing is amazing. So this is how the media is looking at her during this crisis. Let's do a feature on crocheting. By the way, I love to crochet, but you know what? It does explain why she's always laughing, because she's constantly in stitches. Also, Dana, Dana, I'm going to end on a corny joke. What did Joe Biden say to Kamala Harris when he found her in a closet doing her crochet?
What did he say?
I'm beginning to see a pattern.
Oh, very good. Very
yes.
good.
Sorry, Harold. I didn't answer your question.
Well, you did. You actually did.